And we are live. So today I am super excited. I'm thrilled to welcome Dr. Nhu, a fellow Hounds of Business member, also a fellow Super Freaks member. And now Dr. Nhu is a little bit delayed for now, but she will join us very, very soon. So for once, I'd like, very first, introduce myself a little bit. So I'm Kevin Morrow, aka Mr. Mingle, and my mission is to empower my fellow misfits and to allow them to enjoy a wonderful, exceptional social life and a thriving business. And Dr. Nhu here is one of the wonderful connections, wonderful new friends I made through LinkedIn and through the Hounds of Business. And in a nutshell, so Dr. Nhu, she's a leader, she's an author, a speaker, a partner, a business partner, and so many different things. And she's especially a mental health advocate. That's something that is very dear to me because mental health is a very important topic to me and actually to everyone, I believe, whether you acknowledge it or not, mental health is absolutely vital. And I'm so happy that we have people like Dr. Nhu to support us in that journey. So she's especially into burnout, preventing burnout, and helping others finding their purpose, which is something I'm very passionate about as well. So Dr. Nhu has worked for 13 years in pharmacy as a leader and 23 years in sales, business development, and management. So she has a lot of experience already. And now she's really focusing on a holistic and mindful approach. So getting a little bit away from the traditional Western medicine world and implementing a lot of Eastern wisdom and basically ancient wisdom and a ton of kindness. If you never met Dr. Nhu, you will see in no time she just exudes kindness and care. This is stunning. Like I haven't met that many people that have the same kind of palpable kindness coming from them. And here she is! Yay! Okay, just let me finish to introduce you my way, and then I will leave you all the floor. Actually, no. Would you like to say a few words to our audience before I finish?
Well, happy Wednesday, and I don't know how you have a gift, Kevin, and you have an amazing soul and heart to attract so many amazing guests. And I've seen you and lots of people cheering you on. There's lots of time that I've attend. Sometime I have to watch replay, but amazing, amazing heart center and amazing soul. And that's why we're so much aligned and we pull each other. Same vibe, same vibration. And so I am nothing but love to you. But the floor is yours. And thank you for all those who are watching us live and the replay. So
So I really appreciate that, and just so you know, the floor is momentarily mine, just so you can have it all for yourself after that, because it's your show, it's Dr. Nhu's show, and actually talking about doctor, that's the thing. I'm not a big fan of titles, especially doctor. I feel many people use that as a facade, and to me, being a doctor doesn't mean I will grant them respect. To me, it has to be owned. And actually, not so many people earn my respect just because they have the title doctor. I'm kind of very picky, cherry picky with my doctors, but to you, like I tend to call you Nhu in our one-to-one conversations, right? But to me, like it comes naturally. I mean it. Like to me, the doctor stands for my approval of respect and a demonstration of care to you, because to me you really embody the true core of doctor, someone that cares about others. And I know like not all doctors are medicine doctors, right? It's a title that is shared by many other professions and fields, but still to me doctor, there is a very and that's my definition, right? I'm not imposing that on anyone, but to me, a doctor stands for something very deep and the deep dedication to others. And really, it can be through medicine, it can be through teaching, through any form of sharing a very deep value and really caring for others. That's what doctors stand for me. And from my definition, not so many doctors deserve that title, in my opinion. So just wanted to mention that.
Oh,
I mean it. In your case, you're an absolute doctor to me. So I wanted
no, but
to say that.
I second that. I second that. I see so many that the title for me, and this is not just a title of a doctor or a president. I would say this every day. If you are a trash man, a trash woman, janitor, it's still I treat them the same. The respect of for treating one another should not be a title that you earn through a job, a title that you earn through leadership or school, or a title that you lead, but it's your integrity, how much you care for others. It's much more bigger than a title. A title is what have you done for others, right? That is what it's for. It's not for your own ego. But if it's you here for the ego and saying, you need to listen to me because I am so and so, or I have this and that, that is a wrong philosophy. And that's not how it should be. And I think that is where we have to normalize and create equal opportunities for everyone. And when we treat someone in healthcare, especially, we lead with the heart, right? We have to look at that's the patient, is the loved one. And I think that is where a lot of people don't see because they put bias, they put a lot of filters that are being conditioned. And so I totally agree, Kevin. All the doctors and all the acronym behind or in front, it does not matter. There are people who still look through job and through credibility for physicians or whatnot, but really it's how much they care and go above and beyond. And looking at the chart, looking at the patient of 5, 10 minutes of stay, right? They follow through. They want to make sure that one, if it's Ollie who Jason or Chris or Kevin, or if there's another new that's out there, how would they treat it? It's not just one treatment, it's for all, right? It has to be individualized, customized, because everyone is unique. That is where we have to meet people where they are and guide them, not telling people what to do. Meet people where they are, and whenever they're ready, that's when they'll be open mind to learn and to get better, right? I love that. All doctor shouldn't be a title, but a verb of
Yeah,
action. Correct.
yeah, absolutely. Like I want to take a pause just to welcome warmly our friends Ollie, Jason, Chris, and Chris. And yeah, Ollie, wow, that's so very wise. To doctor,
Yeah.
I'm going to doctor that person. I'm going to doctor this world, and I'm pretty sure it already exists. But if it doesn't, like let's make that happen. So very, very good. Thank you, brother Ali. And yeah, okay. Let me just finish to introduce you, and then we will start to get into the meat of the conversation. So, guys, if you explore Doctor News about section, you will see like especially like two amazing phrases that you shared. There is one, so together let's foster a world of kindness, love, and compassion for others and the generations to come. Like this is so wonderful, and I love that you start with the together, and then you end by I'm here to support you, offering a hand. Once again, like a doctor in my book, a doctor from my heart. And then you have let's partner to transform burnout into abundance. And like, wow. And like for anyone that lived burnout, experienced burnout, or have been very, very close to burnout, and I am one, right? My first run as an entrepreneur ended very poorly in flames, in the flames of burnout. So I've been there. I know you've been as well. It's why it's so important for you. And turning burnout into abundance, well, when you're in the middle of that, obviously it seems impossible. It seems like no way, that's a giant mountain. This is K2, this is the Himalayas. I can't climb that. There is no way. Guys, if you're listening to this and if for any reason you feel you might be close to burnout or you have loved ones suffering from burnout or on the verge of that, please reach out to to Dr. Nhu, and ask for guidance. As you can see, and if you don't know Dr. Nhu yet, you will see in no time. She's just so much she has so much kindness and care in her heart and so much willingness to share. So really, I invite you to at least consider asking for guidance from her. And a big welcome, a warm welcome to our friend Susanna from the Hounds as well. Yeah, well, many hounds here once again. So, all right. Before I start my question, so very first, ladies and gents in the audience, I invite you to ask any type of questions to Dr. Nhu, linked to burnout or not, in personal or not. I really invite you to reach out and ask your own questions. I will be happy to relay your questions. In the meantime, I will start with my own. And before that, do you have any words to share? Anything you'd like to add? Anything you'd like to invite people to?
Well, I think that as we have these conversations, most of the you who don't know, do follow Kevin. Of course, Kevin is amazing, and I believe in the misfit of all of us is we all are like all of us are a misfit in one shape or another, right? But whether we know that we are a gem because of all the adversity and things that we've gone through. That's what makes us who we are. It's like the diamond. It does not get shine until you get all the roughness out and all the dust and all things that's uncovered, right? And so it gets shaped into different shape. Then it become whether it's a diamond, whatever shape that you like, heart or emerald or whatnot, right? Define because of a person see the value, or else it become a rock, right? So it's the same thing as if we don't see that we have uniqueness within us and we go through and follow all the shiny objects out there, you're missing your own shiny within your brilliance within yourself. And you have to start not just from the head, you have to go back to, yes, you have all the skills, the knowledge that you acquire, but you have to come back to your heart, where you come from, right? Your values and your purpose. And you will see so much of light coming out. If you, in tune, go back to yourself, the inner wisdom that you have, and all the things that you've gone because of who you are. And that's why I see things differently is I see everyone so special. I don't see anyone that is not a misfit. And misfit here is what Kevin is doing this movement is a another word for, when people call um Miss Universe or Miss whatever America, Miss whatever the country. Misfit here is you don't need to be long, right? You don't need to conform like what Suzanne Adon, my other sister, would say is You don't need to be conformed into a box, right? You don't need to go in a place and it tells you this is how you're supposed to do it. But if there's other ways that are better for everyone, not just for yourself, how do you go outside beyond that box and help others rise from the box, right? We're not meant to fit in one. And so that misfit is just because people have been telling you and telling all of us. So then we're like, okay, I guess I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to stay in right here where I'm meant to be, because who am I to share my story? But every story is unique. And that is why, whether it's telling stories in anthology, writing books, doing podcasts, doing audio, or speaking up, right? Or writing to yourself, even if you are introvert, you don't want to talk to anybody, but believe that the power of you sharing, you take the courage and to share is because you can help others. That is where misfit become the 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 trophy of, we cheering on because you're not a why Kevin have it. It's happy misfit, right? Misfit does not have to be miserable, it does not have to be depression. It does not mean you're an outcast, does not mean that you are weird. Is not weird, does not mean it's a bad thing, right? You have to redefine that word. Weird can be a good thing. I'm weird, I'm misfit, and it's okay. But I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not hurting myself. I think that is where we come together collectively, sharing our wisdom and knowledge and experiences, that you can be weird, you can be misfit. You don't have to be aligned. But one thing, no, is you have to be aligned with yourself. You have to know who you are, your value, and your purpose, and everything needs to be aligned. When you don't have that alignment, everything go like, you're like, oh, why am I going here? Why am I following this guru? Why am I following this master class? And it doesn't really align. It doesn't really makes me shine, right? It doesn't make me who I am, because you don't feel that alignment, because you're in it for the wrong reason. So people might not like me because I'm very, very honest. And I I, I believe in every soul. I believe in every individual. But we have to. It's time to take down the mask, right? It's time to be ourselves. And sometimes we do need to say, I need help. Let's say, Kevin, I'm not feeling well. Can you help me go back to who I am? Because I know who I am. It's just some days might be dark. But when we are not in the dark, how will we know what's light, right? We have to have both. So there will always be dark and light. But how do we handle so we can shift, so we can be aligned and not be shaken by the winds and the storm that comes through our life? That is what all of us is trying to tell. And that is where misfit. I'm happy. And I was like so long overdue, right? When Kevin started this, Happy Misfits and all the amazing guests that he has. It's really of their own right, of their brightness, and so genius of their own. And that is where we are here to empower every single soul to know that you are worth it, right? You have your own gift, and you just have to maybe have someone to tap into that you might not see it yet. Like, let's say I see the audience, like, Dr. Constance Leland, what, my other sister, CJ. Maybe you don't have the confidence yet, but others see you and say, you can do it. Just go out there. And I'm here cheering you on. So those are things. There's people who cheer you on publicly, there's people cheering you on behind, right? The curtains that will always be your cheerleader, because you need those community and support system. And of course, the Hounds of Business. I don't know if Mike have already showed, but we have so many Hounds of Business leaders here. And one of the things, like I see the other Chris Berryman, is that for bring humanity together, and I really think that in order for us to really bring all of us together is, how can we collaborate instead of competition, right? Because we can all do the same thing, but are you going to show up the same? No. Me and CJ and Susanna, Danielle, and all the amazing sister and brothers, we all, even if we do the same thing, everybody's gonna come out differently. right? We look differently, we sound differently. I have a different dialect, and I'm okay with it because people can resonate, right? Sometime, yes, at first, Kevin, before I venture, I was like, who am I? I'm not a Tony Robbins to talk about my stories in my journal, right? And my journey to being, a non-speaking English to now others look up to and inspire. I don't take it as an ego thing, but I'm here to show what an example you can be if you stay true to yourself, right? Through all the midst of all the storms that come through. Because who doesn't have those? Every day, everyone living through. But it's how we determine to show up. Are we going to show up even in the midst of it, or we're going to give up, right? You can give up. It's so easy to give up and say, well, Kevin, I don't feel well. I want to cancel my show, right? I'm not going to appear to you. What does that tell you as integrity, right? Of that person, of me, not just Kevin. But then what does that do when Kevin already do all his hard work, right? And preparing for, he want to share with his networks, the amazing people in his networks. For me, I look at two ways is Kevin is that not when you look at only for yourself self center, you only go to this much. But if you look at other people because you know the impact as a community as a whole, what it would do if I didn't show up for Kevin, right? Not just a business, a personal. There's so much more that you have to think of so much more that you have to think of what are you doing and how are you showing up. It's not just a putting a mask and say I'm just gonna do this, or I don't feel like it, my ego, well, let's just cancel and let's redo. No, the integrity is what you say and your action has to be aligned. And that is where when people truly know and sense it, even if within a few minutes, they can read your gesture, your smile, your eyes. Are you authentically who you are? So much of it that people don't tell you that they have a gift, but certain people do have a gift. And that's where we all can collaborate because it's like the superhero in the movie, right? They're not going to tell you that certain people have a certain gift. And that is where true collaboration and the world will be a better place if we can embrace each other strength and even the weakness, because the weakness does not mean it's weak. Weakness can be like, let's say I can't say no, but that does not mean it's a weakness. That means I'm just wanting to do a lot more of my 24 hours. But that, so that does not mean it's a weakness, right? For someone who say, I don't like someone pushing me over, let's say if that's their weakness, but that means they also don't want others to be pushed down. If you turn something negative to a positive, it will always it's a there's always like Ollie always said, and I think for everyone, for me, in any situation, that situation turned to positive because of my mindset, right? My mindset of where I come from and what CJ mentioned right here, what she said, I'm okay. I'm an immigrant and couldn't speak English. And when she came here and she don't see adversity to stop anyone, right? And that is how we can show up and we can tell people who said that if you feel like you lacking, we can still just keep on learning. And for those who feel like they don't need to learn, I think that you got it wrong because the more you learn, the more you feel like you don't know. That is where you feel like, oh my goodness, I know this much, right? I'm not the expert. I'm not of this. I just know so much. I'm more ahead of you. I've done this and that, but we can come together. We can learn and grow together and we can support one another. But when your mind and thoughts that I already know everything, I don't need to learn from you. I don't need to learn from myself. The mistakes I learned, that's where we miss opportunities to learn and grow.
Oh, so much goodness in what you shared. I love your take on integrity, uniqueness. Yeah, I would just pause for a moment and welcome warmly our friend Dr. CJ and Daniel and Karen. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. And I know I was going to say I hope you will enjoy it. I know you will enjoy it. There is no doubt about it. And yeah, I know you mentioned that, and CJ as well, adversity, and I know you have a very special take on it, and I would love for you to share it. So I was preparing for this show, and I came with a word that probably won't stick: adversity alchemist, because I feel it's what you, so the world probably is not good yet, but I love that concept that really you help others transform their adversity into something beautiful. And actually you started with yourself. And I would love to know, how do you do that? How have you been able to leverage adversity first for yourself and now helping others do that?
So thank you. And adversity, that is a lot of people, the words, and but really it's an opposite. Like it's it's not an obstacle, because sometimes people define adversity as an obstacle, right? No money, right? You don't have a home. We don't we came to the US not having a home. We left our home, right? So came over with nothing. Like an example is, you can start out with not having anything, but if you think of it as that's an adversity, or is that an opportunity to grow, right? An opportunity for you to learn and to adapt and to become stronger. And so that's why, whether you believe in faith or not, the laws of the universe is that they bring you the storm. Not all storm is meant to knock you down, to wipe you out, right? Some storms are meant to bring you even stronger. And that is why sometimes we have to learn to be embraced and be in the present moment, to really learn the things in nature it tells us, right? Because in the end of the day, when we all were in, let's say, I'm going to give myself an example. When I'm not here, I'm going to come back to nature's, right? All my bodies and all the things that we see showing up as who I am now does not mean this is the end of it. So when we're part of something, when we see, how can you be a part of the community of your family, and how can you extend that wall? Because if you only limit to, this is my father and mother and sibling and my own blood, and or my what who look like, or like someone who looked like me from the same country, then you resonate, and then you put in a walls, a shield between someone who looked different than you, right? But what if that person, it's now in this lifetime look different than you, but it could be your brother, your father, your anyone. So would you have done the same way? And I think it's perspective. It start with our mind, and that's where I feel like diversity is, because of my uniqueness of how I see others. I see others as if it's a part of myself, right? I see others' pain. I see how someone, if they're, let's say, if even if, let's say, simple thing is in a class, right? Growing up as a kid, if you win, or you have made a award or ceremony, or you made an A plus, that person becomes so happy. But if someone make an F, do you see that person struggle and get sad, right? So how can we bring people that are not in the moment, that are not there with you, so they can be together? Why do we have to be in a way that creates separation? Because we create separation, right? The society and community. And so when you see even our own family, if we see things, and we have to, it's called, we have to use our analytical, we have to use our mind to also look at things and seeing what it is it really right or wrong? It's not about, yes, my family say, "Oh, you have to do this because it's it's because it's your family," then you forgive your family. But if it's not your family, then you're not going to forgive. That kind of philosophy, right? When always the people always say a mother always will forgive and will care for their kind. And for me, I look at it as, if you think of all that you encounters, if they were your kid, or if you don't have a kid, if you vice versa think all of those are your mother, your brothers, you envision all those in front of you, what would you do, right? Turned adversity to very simple. It give you more strength, empower you and yourself and others, because now you feel like you have the resilience and the grace to overcome that obstacle that you think it become your adversity. But you have to think, thank you for this opportunity that you're giving me, that is so that I can be stronger. So you can equip me, not only my mental fitness, but my body, physically, mind, body, and soul, to be strong for others, right? Because if we're not strong, we're not going to be able to hold a space for someone, right? Whether it's physically strong or mentally strong. So the same way with mental is that, when someone work out, they're so strong, fit, they do many repetition, the same way as their mind. If you keep on putting your focus in seeing others beyond just what you see, because of our own incapable of seeing other people uniqueness, other people gift, other people loved ones. Because if we envision, how would we overcome this? Let's say if you are going through a business crisis and you're in it as an employee, or you're in it as a CEO of your company, you're responsible for the whole community as an employee, because you take part in it, right? It's not just I'm here for the salary, but how can I help be a part of the ship to drive the ship in a better way for the collectiveness, for the whole community? Then even if others are slacking, you can be more stronger and help others. But what you gain is because of you go above and beyond. You're willing to take on other tasks that no one willing to. Those are the ways that you can learn and overcome those strengths. And yes, you might be misfit. You can take on so many roles. That's learning from my own experiences, that other people think of leadership is making a lot of more money than other normal employees, but not necessarily true. Some leaders are just go in and do it. It does not mean it's making more money. When I was leading a group of other pharmacists, they were making either equal or sometimes even more. And when I look at it, if you talk about just money, then you feel like you're doing so much more. It's not worth it. But if you talk about leadership of making changes, making decisions to help people move the needle and move the company in the right way, then it's worth it, right? And then how you gain that leadership is willing to do all the work that nobody willing to do. That is the misfit. But then what is it in turn for you? You learn all that skills, right? That nobody willing to do. So that is where I want to challenge every single one, is that when you come through an adversity or an obstacle, have you given yourself 100% of that opportunities to grow? Have I given myself a chance to say, have I gotten outside of my comfort zone, even though I might be lacking? How am I contributing to a collectiveness in this world to be a better, right? For the universe, when people talk about a lot of energy, right? When we talk about when someone go in, like that, they said the analogy is one rotten apple can destroy and bring down any group because of that energy that they can feel that it's not aligned with your value and your purpose and your mission, right? The same way as if someone have a higher sense, they can sense someone really being authentically real with a kind, loving to really serve. And that is at the end of the day, I really think that if we hear, we, and because I always think it's not about me, but if we all think in ourselves, we are here. What are we here for? Do we always questions? Are we here just to make money so we can feed off our own body and then lavish on houses and car and clothes and all the fancy things? Can you take any of that when we leave this earth, right? Do we take any of that? No. So what do we take? We take our integrity. We take what we do, what we can do for others. What have you done for other people even when in the middle of you might not have a lot, but mentality we have to change that we can't just wait until we have a full bottle of water, then you're going to give it to someone. But how about you have uh this half bottle, and let's share it, right? Let's share the little that we have, and look at how much more abundance and how many people will survive with the little we have. Imagine the power that you lift up others, because is it because we need all the things like that, or is it because of our wants, right? Our desire, our ego? Is it coming from a place that our intention is with kindness, with loving, to serve others and serve yourself in a better way and for a higher purpose, or are we doing it for for sanity, right? For things that are promotion and money and quick gain, right? There's nothing quick about any success. Any person who stand in front of you that tells you, they show you something that's quick, I can guarantee that's a scam, right? You cannot say anything is quick. Even if I'm a pharmacist and say you will follow what I gone through, even if I give you the whole recipe of what I've gone through, there's no quick success, because everyone has things that we have to work to uncover. There's inner child work, there's so many limiting beliefs, there's so many things deep down, right? We have to uncover all the things before we can shine, because in order for us to be authentic and be compassionate with others, it starts with us. We have to be authentically who we are. Do we love ourselves? Are we kind to ourselves? Are we generous to ourselves? You know, are we vulnerable to be able to share all the secret, right? All the scars. But scars is a beauty. It's like a canvas, right? Like when you talk about painting, all the different painting, that when you have a puzzle, all different pieces come together for like a Picasso, right? When you look at it, our mental health, when you think of a silo, this piece, and everything is all scattered. But if you can think of it as holistic approach, if you think of every well-being for you, for just for yourself, because until you heal yourself, until you know who you are, you can't help others. So when you go back to saying, how do I, put myself in the self-care, right? When we know that we have to overcome, when you mention adversity, is it an adversity, or is this an opportunity, right? For you to learn to adapt and to be stronger. And what are the lessons, even if you fall down from this moment in time, what is it telling you about yourself, right? Does it empower yourself and others when you go through these obstacles that you define it as adversity, or is this an opportunity to show you how strong you are, how resilient you are? And that is like, for me, adversity is a blessing. It's a blessings that, if you believe in faith, God, Buddha, everything, for me personally, every action that we take with our knowledge, we decide on what path, right? For instance, there's two paths that you can see which you want to go, left or right. That's, you can choose. But at this moment that the storm come to you and that you define this adversity, it comes to you for a reason. Everything that happens to us comes to us for a reason, whether we realize it or not. Until you see the pattern, you realize, you sit down and calm down and realize a reflection, introspection of all the things happen. Do you realize some things that's calling you out? Those are the things that you don't realize. Those are your gem. That is the gem that you, it's like the stone, the gem, the diamond, whatever you treasure the most. That is where, when, if you're stay able to stay calm and move through that, that is where you can see some of the things, and you can move in a pathway that you can desire. And it depends on how calm you are to make that decision. And a lot of times people um be swing by, right? Because of the shiny object. When storm go here, oh, somebody reach out. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna go here. And then the storm go left, I'm gonna go left, right. So that is where we have to define and hold grounded so we can stay firm to who we are and know and follow that path. And that is where you can redefine or reinvent yourself through that uh, opportunities.
Wow. No, it's amazing. So, guys, everyone, do you see now why, in my opinion, New deserves that title of Doctor New? So much wisdom. That's really stunning. I could listen to you for hours. I'm not kidding you. That's so much goodness. So before I quickly react to what you just shared, I'd like to say a big welcome to Hakon. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Is it Hakon? I believe so. And you are actually, Hakon, you ask a question that I'm not sure I understand. Maybe Dr. New understands it correctly. If you do, then perfect. If not, if you don't mind explaining what you mean, that would be amazing. I'd like to say hey also to Willie and Gabe that joined us. And so, yeah, what you said. So, not, yeah, a few months ago, I was going through a hard time, and a friend of mine from Germany, Lukas Schmidt, he has been a guest on this podcast as well, shared with me this amazing line: smoothies don't make good sailors. And it's so simple and so very true. Like we might not like the challenges. It might suck big time. It might taste awful, but still, it's really reinforcing us. And I know, like this very corny and cliche line from Nietzsche that I won't say because it has been overused, right? And everyone know that one. It is so true. It makes us better and stronger if we survive. That is, if we survive the storm, it just makes us a better sailor. And just to add something, like, I love that you mentioned different religious currents and spiritual currents, and actually it's one of the pillars, one of my core pillars coming from Buddhism. So I'm not Buddhist per se, but I have been heavily influenced by Buddhism and Taoism. And there is one that resonated so deeply with me, and that no event whatsoever are ever positive or negative. No event, ever. What might look like positive to you might be very negative and detrimental to someone else, or to humankind as a whole, or to the planet Earth. And on the other way, what seems very detrimental to you might actually be a blessing to others. And guess what? What looks negative to you might actually be the very best thing that was waiting for you. Like losing your job sometimes might be the very best news you were waiting for without realizing, because suddenly you just have so many new options that you never considered. Maybe not. Maybe you will deeply suffer from that. And so I'm not saying it's always a blessing, it's always positive. But the question is, what do you make of it? How do you decide intentionally to make of it? Do you want to wallow and just really throw a pity party to yourself? And I'm not judging anyone. I've thrown so many pity parties for myself. It's not funny anymore. Like, I had my fair share of that. So absolutely zero judgment. I've been there. But did it serve me? Absolutely not. It never served me to just wallow in the negative and just look at the worst outcome of that, the worst outlook at that. It never served me. But when I tried to think outside of the box and try to look at options instead of really getting stuck into a negative loop, it entirely changes the pace. So yeah, fascinating. I love so much your take on adversity. So okay, I love to see if Hakon could clarify, or maybe you understood actually
Yeah,
his question.
I think it's the same because when Hagen saying that how no, you won't manage this is actually no way I can do this. So really, I think he meant as you can take anything as either one is right. The same way as I can handle this, I can manage it, or no, I can't manage it. Either one is right. So whatever you are able to put your mind over matter is either one is right, right? So you can give up, that's right. That's your decision. That's your right. But if you take on it and say I'm going to manage it and continue on to do the task, it's still right. And so when, I believe, when he's saying if I tell someone you're unable to do this task, I'm actually talking about my own limitation, correct? So a lot of things what I would say is sometimes a lot of what we say out, if you notice, people who have a lot of insecurity are very negative. They come out verbally all, and I might offend people who use a lot of foul language and really bad, like very bad energy. Like, everything they see in the world is against them. But how come the same scenario, it could be in the same family, could be two brother, two sister, and they see one as an obstacle, another is opportunity, an opportunity to grow and learn and to get better. So it's all about how you take that same scenario. So it's not about what are you giving in your hand. You might not have any tools, but how about you have it within you? You have all the tools. You can learn, you can gain the knowledge, but all the things, the skills is very someone can teach you, right? The knowledge or skills, but something that people cannot change is change who you are as a person, as an ethical. Yes, only you willing to do your own works, right? If you willing to get better, if you willing to know, oh, I'm weak at this, I'm going to get better, acknowledging it, aware, and then move forward. Or you can have a pity party, like you say, okay, I don't know any English, my father passed away. Other people have the whole family and all the gathering. So every father, like you can have a pity party all day until the moment you pass away, but what would it do? No one will care. That is the bottom line. And when people who seek attentions want to bring all that out and say, I'm this, I'm that, but what are the message you trying to convey of that missing part, right? You got to learn and move forward. You missing that. So how do you embrace? Are you gonna love on others more because you lack sibling, you lack fatherhood, you lack whatever? Are you gonna able to help others because you know that the struggles for people to go through adversity when you've gone through yourself and you know how hard? Those are the ways you can turn into any situations as an opportunity for you to grow and help others acquire the same skill. It's not just about you. How can you pass on that wisdom to others? The leaders is not just making yourself sharp, it's making other people sharp. Like, they call iron sharpened iron. But the same is the concept of if you can help build and empower more leaders, that is true leadership. It's not about you rising up top and everybody else still starving and everybody else is still in trying to survive. We have to be thinking of we're in this together, no matter how distant apart we are in this one lifetime that we're blessed. We come together for a reason. The universe, the law, the God, the Buddha, whatever you believe. And I believe that we are part of each other that we come together because we share experience and knowledge that will awaken us, right? Awaken our mind, awaken our hearts and soul to realize that I'm here for a bigger purpose. I'm here to bless others on our gift. And my gift could be I see others as my brothers and my sisters, my family, my mothers and my sibling with a heart to love on others. It's not about the knowledge, the skills, the same ways I teach my kids. It's not about you being smart and bringing in A's, straight A's. You need to have a moral, ethical value. What can you do to others? What you able to do to help others that are less fortunate than you? Can you share a piece of cookie that even if you're starving, can you tear it apart and give it to someone else? That is what makes you different. Not just because you have a piece of bread and you starving, so I said I'm gonna feed myself first and let that person, because it's survival, right? Mode. That's not right. We can all survive and thrive, and that is where my hearts go when we talk about healthcare. Kevin, is my deep sorrow because I see so many that are supposed to in healthcare. There's the caring for one another. We have to go back to the caring of the individual and meet them where they are and not put a bias of our own film, like our framework, right? Our lens that we put through, whether they don't have a home, whether they don't have financial means, we still should treat others with the same level as a VIP, right? As someone who's a billionaire or Donald Trump or the president or whoever it is that you envy around the world because they have lots of money. But we should treat others with kindness, with love. And then if something does not right, how about we seek other solution? Not just because we accept that is the status quo. No, you cannot. You can challenge, and that is where our mind can override. If we have a mind to say, I'm going to overcome this obstacle, I'm going to overcome my own health challenges, I'm going to pray on others, I'm going to seek other alternative for myself, for others, or if you are a healthcare provider, you love on your patients, you care on your patients. From the moment you arrive, you sense it with your heart that you want them to be better, and you pray and thought, even if you don't believe in anything, you're sending out to the universe. The universe knows who you are, what you want to do, all the things, the blessing, all the gift will come to you because would any angels, would any guardian want to give you if you have a bad intentions, right? If you have a bad intention within you to want to be self-centered, to just self-serving yourself and not serve others, they're not going to bring you those people that will come and say, I want you to be in my world. And I really, people have to speak up. People have to speak up what's not right, right? What is it not right? And the moment you speak up that someone doesn't have a voice, they can be saved. Their life can be saved, right? Because if you're in a toxic workplace, speak up, right? No one should be deserving to treat less than a human, right? Toxic workplace and mental health is such a huge, and it start with is a reflection of who that person is. The person that's saying negative things to other people, they have insecurity. So if they're leading and they're mistreating people, they need to have time, maybe a boot camp or their own temple, whatever. A nice way of saying, I like to give you a retreat so you can see maybe there's things that we need to work on. But I don't believe that anyone is bad, evil, but we have to willing to know that we have triggers, we have activation, we have things that we need to work on, right? And how are we willing to work on it to be a better leaders, to be better husband, wife, spouse, partner in business, or in an employee, or as a CEO? If we know that and we want to love on others, because at the end of the day, yes, you want to make lots of money. Yes, you want to be successful. But if you're not helping others, you're not happy because you're not serving others, you're not getting any fulfillment and joy in what you do, you don't find purpose, right? You don't find the journey of this journey in life that we all are blessed to have in this moment. And we're not able to see that we are just a small speck of a collectiveness, right? And we are so much stronger together, and we can empower so many more lives, and we can even rise much more if we put down, and we have to be coming together and embrace the diversity. We embrace all the uniqueness, the inclusion, and fostering a workplace that is, they feel safe, they feel nurturing, they feel loving, kind. They feel that there is grace, that they will be forgiven if they tell, their employer or the manager, hey, I make a mistake. I made a boo-boo. Can you help me solve this? I am in this rut, right? Everyone deserve a second chance. Everyone deserve to be happy. Everyone deserve to have a home, a happy home. No one deserves to be displaced because a leader make poor judgment and then someone's out in the street. So before we judge a book by its cover, we have to reflect on what we're able to provide, what we can help others, right? Until we see, we go in a place that's dirty and we come out and we leave that place cleaner. How do you show up and have that place better than what you came in with? That is where we all can do. We can uplift others. Maybe, because it's not just meant for us. And that is how I go in the street. I see nail, I see rocks. I have to remove it. Right? I cannot just bypass and leave it there because someone else can get hurt. We all have a responsibility. If we see a pot of water that's puddle that can cause a trip and fall and other people to get hurt, it's our duty, is even if we don't work there, to make sure it get taken care of, or put something so it has some way to people know, hey, caution, put some paper around that, put whatever, or call someone for help. Because if we ignore, we are part of that collective karma. We choose to ignore that and someone get hurt, we will have to pay for that. And I think people who don't see the collectiveness is what people always struggle and say, why? And I've used to be that way, Kevin. I used to say, why is so unfair? My father was this and that, and why did he have to pass away? Why, this and that? Why, good people always end up, but we don't see the whole full picture. We don't see all the things that they have to deal with, right? And the only thing that you can determine, the only thing you can change is your own action, right? You cannot change what the storm coming through, but you can change how you handle and how you react to everything that come to you. So you can either embrace it, love it with kindness and compassionate and loving, then all the things come through, you will see, you will move, and you will make a lot of impact. Not only your own lives, you will empower, inspire others because you do not conform. You will not be shaken by that storm because you know what you have to offer to the world, not just the world of here, because when you're gone, that essence of who you are is passing through. But if you're bitter and angry, you're gonna pass through that. You're gonna pay for all the things that your sins. But I believe that everyone can turn around. Everyone has a good soul. I believe it's just whether you want to realize and awaken, saying, I have work to do. I have things that I need to seek help. I need a community. I need someone that have that heart that you can align and have connections with, that you will feel secure. You have a mental well-being, even though it's a physician, or a healthcare provider anywhere. I feel that I know that no matter what people do, it's what they make you feel, right, Kevin? Like when you go to a doctor's, you know that they love you, they care for you, and they go above and beyond. That is where you have more respect than someone just, oh, okay, they don't really look and care for you beyond just here, right? And you have to get to know one another, get to know your people, and even anything. I want people to know that within everything, even if the doctor say you're fine, nothing's wrong with you. If you know something's not right with you, find another provider. Find another person who believe in you. If you find a coach, the coach say there's nothing wrong with you. You're just lazy. You just this, that, and they don't empower you to move in the right way. You need to find someone that empower in a positive. No one want to be in a negative environment who don't want to be seen, heard, and valued. At the end of the day, they have the obligation to help you get better, not to demoralize you, making you even worse. And you have the power to know that something's wrong. And within yourself, we all have the power to heal. It's just we have to know how to turn anything from a negative to a positive. How do we shift that? It starts with our mind. And so it's so much to uncover, Kevin. Uh,
Yeah,
we can
I
go
know.
on and
And
on.
I was looking at the clock. Unfortunately, I have only a few minutes left. But yeah, this conversation could go for hours. There are so much to cover indeed. And I just want you to have the opportunity to talk about your upcoming event with Michelina. So could you just spend 2 minutes on that, and then we will have to say goodbye because we're already over the time, and unfortunately I have to run. But yeah, just at least to explain a little bit what these that Shred 10 and the Jumpstart 2024 that you cooked up.
So I would like to invite others who would like to join us with Mike Asherbanner and Michelina, and I'll drop the our information in our event here. But really, it's to look at to get healthy, but also clear and have a calm mind, right? And for holistic approach for me, as for any leaders who are business owners or any leaders, we have to be in a better health, because without a health we cannot have anything. And so health is not just the food. We have to look at so many factors: the food we eat, what kind of things we put in our mind, right? The digital things that we consume, who are our people that we, the community, the people you are surround yourself with. It's so much. But really the essence of the Sheten is really how can we be well in a holistic to feed our mind, body, and soul. And it starts with our nutrition. If those who like to join us, and they don't have to be totally vegan or plant-based diet, they can maybe substitute one meal to two meal, or if they like go all in. But really, there's a lot more to it that can also help you with the energy, clearing the energy, and a lot of things that are not helping you move your needle. So I'm gonna not only incorporate what the nutritions, but also the spirituality aspect of where I come in. So I'll be sharing that on the insights of those who like to, get more information. If those in Kevin's circle, reach out to Kevin. If not, of course, reach out to me directly, Mike Asherbanner and Michelina. So we will start on April 8th, which is next Monday. And so you're gonna see the transformation. And but you have to willing to do the work and be honest with yourself, right? And be willing to go confront all the your challenges and your limiting belief. And it does not mean you have to do it all. You can do one thing at a time, but know that be consistent of your habits and work on it. And always start your day and end with your days with gratitude. I always start, at first when I was going through adversity, I always have a routine. Now it's in my head. I go through the day, part of my DNA, my blood, everything flow through. It's gratitude the whole every day. Right now I'm sitting, my legs is like a lotus form. My leg is always, so there's different ways that you are grounded, but that will feed you in a positive energy. So there's lots of things that I want to share with you. So, feel free to reach out to us, and we're going to do a lot of other things that, of course, with Dr. Constance Leland with the Level Up Academy. with our masterclass coming up too. So there's other ways to stay tuned with us in our communities, because I wish nothing but the best for all those who are listening to us now, the live and the replay, to always be healthy, happy, have abundance of love, joy, prosperity in all that you do, and then also pass it on to others, because the world is a better place with you in it and passing on to others. So, I can't wait to cheer you on, walk along, hold hand, whatever it is. We're in this together, so we are better together. I appreciate you, Kevin, sincerely, and he's like my brother. I can't wait to one day meet him, but one day we will make it happen. We we have the willpower. We'll make it happen. Maybe the Hounds of Business, right, Kevin? Networking event. Calling Mike. Much appreciating for you, Kevin. And it's not the first and or the last, but we're ongoing. Our first live together, but many more. So I appreciate you very, very much and love you and love everyone. And may you always, always be loved and be well and abundance.
Thank you so much, Dr. New, and absolutely see you very soon. Enjoy a wonderful Wednesday, guys, and yeah, see you next week. Bye bye.
Oh, Kevin, tell them that you're gonna be on the 26th on the Mindful Mingle too. You haven't
Absolutely,
hit yet.
and yeah, absolutely. In 3 weeks on Dr. News show, so can't wait. Absolutely, stay tuned and see
Bye,
you on
everyone.
Monday for the challenge.